The $500 million wedding between Anand Ambani and Radhika Merchant has remained a trending topic on social media, with users scrutinizing different aspects of the wedding. That scrutiny has opened up a can of worms about the poor treatment of the bride and her family. Many claim the bride was upstaged, and her family seemed locked out of the celebration. But with the wedding so flamboyant, how was Radhika sidelined on her wedding day? Was this intentionally done, or are people misjudging the whole situation? Radhika is the daughter of Veeran Merchant, a pharmaceutical tycoon who heads Encore healthcare company and many other pharmaceutical companies. He is well known in India, but he has maintained a very low profile, unlike Mukesh Ambani, Anand's father, who's Asia's richest man and ranks as the 9th richest man in the world. Despite the huge disparity in their family's wealth, Anand and Radhika were childhood friends, and they grew up together in Janagar. So clearly the Ambanis and the Merchants aren't strangers to each other in any way. The kids parted ways at some point to pursue international studies in different fields. Anand went to Brown University in Rhode Island, while Radhika studied at New York University. Within this period, there was little contact between the two, but they shared the same circle of friends and were soon united when they got together at a party organized by a mutual friend. At this point, Anand worked at his father's company, Reliance Industries, as the director of the company's energy unit, while Radhika worked as the director at her father's company, Encore Healthcare Company. Soon enough, the couple fell in love, and their engagement was announced. After the engagement, the traditional wedding ensued, and they organized 2 pre-wedding ceremonies held in different countries. The actual wedding started on Friday, July the 12th, 2024, and ended on Sunday. The ceremony was star-studded, with celebrities, politicians, and business tycoons flying in from all over the world. Instead of a celebration of love, what people saw was the Ambanis and their celebrities everywhere at all the events. Some began to ask why the Ambanis were doing way too much marketing specifically for this wedding, despite spending a lot more on it than Anand's siblings' weddings. People claimed they could hardly spot the Merchants at the grand wedding, which is surprising, given that the Merchants were very visible all through the ceremonies leading up to the wedding. It seems the wedding was clearly not for the bride and her family members. The people that seemed to matter most and took central stage were Nita Ambani, the groom's mother, and Isha, his sister. To some people on social media, the groom's mother and sister were bent on continuously upstaging the bride. It is well known that the ceremonies leading up to the wedding were handled by Nita with help from Isha. During a pre-wedding event in March, Anand said his mother had worked 18 hours a day for the 4 months leading up to the parties. He added, "All this is created by my mother and no one else, and my mother has gone all out for the last 4 months." If she had been in charge of the planning right from the beginning, some believe it may have been a good reason for why she was everywhere at her son's wedding, making sure things were running as intended. Others do not agree with this narrative, even if it is a logical one. To them, since some believe the extremely flamboyant wedding was a ploy to drain the family's black money, then the entire wedding allowed the Ambani women, especially Nita, to go on a massive ego parade. Furious commentator even said, "This whole wedding seems like a Nita and Nisha Ambani thing with Anand and Radhika as supporting characters." Isha was all over the internet with her looks and whatnot. There's been speculation that Ina was using her brother's wedding as an opportunity to advertise her brand, Tyra Beauty, and compete with Nika. Many who heard about her own wedding in 2018 recall that they saw very few clips or photos of her wedding ceremony, and it was the same privacy that was upheld during Shloka and Akash weddings. Yet Anand's and Radhika's wedding went the opposite direction. Yet, with unlimited inside scoop of videos and photos being leaked left and right. And Isha was being shown to be glamorous and beautiful because she runs her own beauty company. Comments on social media showed that she didn't care about upstaging her new in-laws because she was gaining popularity thanks to them. And if her cards were played right, her net worth would double. However, Nita and Isha were not the only people who were pointed out as having tried to upstage the bride. Despite the fact that the Indian Prime Minister arrived on Saturday, he was also accused of carpooling for popularity's sake. The first argument put forward by observers was, why was the road leading to the wedding venue lined with posters of Modi? A-list guests to the wedding coming to the venue had to look at signs of the Prime Minister offering a heartfelt welcome to beloved guests making the visit to Mumbai. Why wasn't the face of the signs that of the glowing bride or the groom? Why did it have to be that of India's twice re-elected Prime Minister? Officially, Modi reoriented his schedule to Mumbai to inaugurate a project in the area. And it just happened that the couple's wedding was going to continue for the next 3 days he was in the area. His last-minute announcement appeared to reflect a tricky political situation he had found himself in. In January, Mukesh praised him for his vision and consistency and called him the greatest global leader of our times. In March, Anand also paid tribute to his campaign to promote weddings in India, saying, "It's a matter of pride and happiness when our PM said that one should get married in India." But with the polls showing a tighter contest than many expected, Modi tried to throw his support behind the growing public distaste for the antics of India's ultra-wealthy by accusing the Ambani family of paying bribes to his political rivals. Something many claimed was a shocking move on his part, since he has long been accused of being very close to India's oligarchs, whose profits have soared under his rule. Now, if the Ambani wedding was going to be a global phenomena, and Modi probably thought it best to make the greatest use of the situation. Someone also pointed out that the colossus of Indian politics was not even on the guest list for the Ambani wedding, yet it was able to accommodate everyone, including former UK prime ministers, US senators, ambassadors, and even WWE wrestler John Cena. And talking about another person accused of upstaging the bride, reality TV celebrity Kim Kardashian. Kim was accused of trying to upstage the bride with an entertaining outfit. The 43-year-old reality star joined her sister Khloe in India over the weekend as they attended the extravagant wedding ceremony. Kim shared snaps from the event on her Instagram with the caption, "India has my heart." But fans weren't impressed with her outfit. Kim and Khloe were welcomed by Nita Ambani, who was present at the entrance of the venue. Apart from being the cynosure of eyes at the event, Kim also made headlines by wearing a dazzling red lehenga. Red is traditionally reserved for brides at Hindu weddings in northern parts of India, much like white is for Christian weddings. Guests would intentionally avoid wearing red because they don't want to confuse other attendees and upstage the bride. Not Kim though. Her glittering ensemble, adorned with sequins, fringe tassels, and intricate beadwork, sparked a social media buzz. While some hated her look, others were quick to praise the design. Some did not blame her bold fashion choice, believing it did not overshadow the event. Their argument is that Indian celebrity brides have been moving away from traditional red and are opting for pastel colors instead. Notably, Radhika wore a red and white lehenga designed by Abu Jani Sandeep Khoshla for her wedding with Anand on July the 12th. The choice paid homage to the Panatar, a traditional wedding outfit for brides in Gujarat. The colors symbolized goddess Shakti and her power, making Radhika's outfit both culturally significant and stunningly beautiful. She completed the look with a 6-foot-long veil featuring delicate embroidery. Around her neck was an emerald har, the same necklace her sister and aunts wore at their weddings. The fact about Desi weddings is that they are typical ceremonies that are often elaborate and colorful affairs, characterized by a range of pre-wedding, wedding day, and post-wedding events, and can last for several days. People struggle to understand how much is too much during a Desi wedding, especially when celebrities are larger than life, spanning days with multiple destinations and a never-ending guest list. The extravagant events give the impression that it's okay to go overboard while dressing up, which leaves some brides complaining about being upstaged by an auntie or sister-in-law. Unlike traditional Desi weddings, there is also no rule that brides will only wear red anymore, or that a guest will not wear a certain color, as is the case with Western weddings where nobody but the bride is allowed to wear white. Today, Indian brides opt for other colors on their big day, but this freedom to choose from heavily embellished attires to minimal, elegant ones, bold colors to pastel ones, has created confusion about what is appropriate to wear at Desi weddings as a guest anymore, especially when you're not a close family member and utterly unaware of the bride's wardrobe choices. There's also the risk of raising eyebrows for not putting in the extra effort to dress up, because certain families love looking over the top at weddings and expect you to do the same. Due to changing trends, not all brides want to go all out with their wedding looks anymore. And it is believed that they shouldn't have to just because somebody else will opt for an extravagant look. Even Radhika was drenched in all the gold her money could buy at some of her events. Her bridal look was tasteful despite being extravagant and actually minimal by Ambani standards. Many people still believe this wedding was for everyone except the actual bride and groom. But is this really true? Maybe people are just not seeing things from the Ambani's perspective. We would like to hear your opinion. What did you think of the wedding of the year?